Alex Hawke sat with his family around a warm fire in the cliffside of Kragdon-ah. The previous few years had been challenging, and he was happy to have this quiet time. He had spent a year rescuing Pandric Maston in the far north, fallen ill with cancer and been cured by Pandric, then spent years away from home training the armies of Kragdon-ah for the Council of Tribes. He wanted nothing more than to build his new house and to spend time with those he loved. Now, finally, it appeared that he would be able to do just that. Those plans were short-lived. Pendenak, the young boy in charge of keeping the carrier birds known as Kragdon-ah, came hurrying into the cave, flushed with exertion and excitement.
"I think this might be important," Pendenak said, handing the scrolls to Alex's daughter Amy, the new chief of the Kragdon-ah. "It arrived in 2 parts, on 2 birds."
That was unusual. Messages were kept intentionally brief so as not to weigh down the birds as they made their long journey. 2 scrolls meant something was important. Amy read the scrolls by the light of the fire. Her posture straightened, and she met Alex's eyes.
"Kragdon-ah is under siege once again."
Alex narrowed his eyes. "This is why we trained the army. So no other force would be as great as the Council of Tribes, who is strong enough to push Kragdon-ah behind the gates of her city."
"The note says they are besieged by large, bearded men carrying axes and wearing furs. Apparently they do not fear death, but seem to embrace it."
Alex had seen many brave warriors and fighters over his decades in Kragdon-ah, but that description fit only one group. An army of berserker fighters who relished a fight to the death. The Northmen?
"The Northmen,"
Amy said in agreement.
"Who else could it be?"
But how? Alex wondered aloud, shaking his head. They had encountered the Northmen at the battle for Dracana years before. Through Alex's battle strategy and the alliance he made with Makinta, they had managed to kill every last one of the fighters from the north. It had been a bloody battle with grievous losses on all sides. Though the Northmen were vastly outnumbered and caught in a pincer-like battle with strong, well-trained, and heavily armed forces both in front and behind them, they had fought like madmen and inflicted far more damage than they should have. Alex had come to believe that every one of the Northmen was worth at least 3 well-trained, fearless warriors. And now, apparently, they had come to Kragdon-ah. The fact that Kragdon-ah, the greatest city in the land and home to the Council of Tribes, was surrounded and besieged, told a story in itself. Alex had spent more than 2 years training 1,000 warriors. He had taught them not just to fight, but to go out to all the tribes who were part of the council and train those warriors to be fighters. If the Northmen were able to lay siege to Kragdon-ah, that meant they had arrived in great numbers and had fought their way across a significant part of Kragdon-ah, annihilating the armies of the council as they encountered them.
"I don't know how they are here," Amy admitted, shaking her head. "Are they looking for us, hoping to finish the battle we started in Dracana? But if they had managed to track us, they would have landed somewhere on this side of the continent."
"They are in Kragdon-ah, so that must mean that they landed on the other side of the Kragdon-ah River." Alex shook his head. "I've never been there, and I don't really know anything about that area. Perhaps Harta-ak would know something, since he sailed up and down that river for so many years. I will need to visit him." Alex's brain was already swirling, thinking of possible plans, exploring the strengths and weaknesses of each one, combining some, rejecting others. He knew this situation was too big for a single brilliant flash, though. It would take planning, and not just from him, but from everyone he relied on.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.